So hey everybody, welcome to Trinic Tips. I'm your host Bob Chatterton, and this show is about providing tips, tricks, and advice for the decorative concrete industry. Over the last 30 years, we've learned a lot, a real lot. I've seen a lot of people come, a lot of people go, experienced a lot of ins and outs and ups and downs over the years of things that work and some things that don't work. So our hope for this is to kind of even that out for a lot of you folks out there into this decorative concrete industry. And what better way to do that than bring in a couple of experts that have been in it for more than just a couple of days. So joining me today are Joe Dietz and John Alliegro. Joe, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into this industry?
My name is Joseph Dietz. I have the Concrete Dog Studio. I'm in New Jersey. I got into this about 15 years ago. I worked in LA for a while in movies, and then I moved back home to New Jersey and was looking for a job and started working for a concrete company doing mold work. And then it progressively went from there. It was a partnership that fell apart, and I, continued on my own after they closed up.
Awesome. John, how about you?
My name is John Alliegro, currently an owner of South Bay Concrete Design. And previous to this, I had a landscaping company that I ran for a couple of years. After I sold my company, we decided to do some concrete countertops at my house. And long story short, I went through the School of Hard Knocks, and here I am today, transitioning from, countertops and decorative items to cladding systems and facade work.
Awesome. Yeah, one of the things that I had written down in notes to kind of bring up was that experience as a harsh teacher. And I almost didn't use the word harsh, but it's one of those things that we just learn. That School of Hard Knocks is a tough one. The lessons seem to stick with us, but it's one of those things that if you go through it, you kind of learn to either not do it again if it wasn't a pleasant experience, or figure out better ways to handle it. And we can apply that to forming techniques all the way up to the profitability of any company. So hey, I got a question for you guys today, and this is the one I kind of like to lead off with, is what I wish I would have known before I got into this business. Joe, if you want to take a swing at that one first.
That's a tough one. There's a lot. I would say getting into it, start small. Don't overpromise what you feel you can't deliver to somebody. Go into it, small, try and baby steps. It's going to take a little bit, to get used to the product, and take a lot of notes and stick with, don't try and wing it. Just try and, YouTube didn't exist when I started coming up in this. So there's a lot of YouTube stuff. So you can gain a lot of knowledge, more than when I first got into it. There was no videos, there was no reaching out to other people. It was kind of just experimenting. Now, do your research. There's so many videos and there's so many companies now that you can start, educating yourself and build it up that way. Start out a little slow. Don't overpromise to somebody something that, you're not sure if you can make or not. And then just build yourself up from there. But a lot of it is just dive into, all these videos so you can get a better education, or even take classes. Take a class that's in your area, or find somebody, that they didn't have classes when I was started out. So, there's a lot out there for people that you can have a lot of knowledge and gain a lot of experience just from different things before you really, start pushing it.
Awesome. How about you, John?
I think the importance of marketing really would be the key for me. When I had my landscaping company, marketing wasn't necessary. It was, all right, I'm cutting Mrs. Smith's lawn. I'm doing, some plantings and different things over there. And, Mrs. Jones sees it and she's happy with it. She's not happy with the guy that she was using before. And there you go. So it's the ability to kind of create that network through word of mouth and just doing a good job. Where coming into this business, it's more of getting your name out there, showing people what you can do and that you can deliver on time, deliver with what you say you're going to deliver, but also putting that, bundling it together in a marketing package. And I think that what I'm trying to do right now is to develop an online presence and, get my materials and products in front of the right people.
So in the years that you've been in this business, what was your success? Like, what was your, maybe your number one takeaway point of marketing that you have learned between the time you started and the time that we're doing this now, of what's your win?
My win, and that's an interesting one because it's a little bit off from what most people would probably consider traditional marketing. And I try to network as much as possible. I've been in situations where I'll just go into a company and knock on the door and say, hey, do you have a need for this product? Is there an opportunity for us to work together? Can we create, a relationship where we work in bringing both of us, work and stuff like that. So I guess that's my marketing success, is getting the stuff in front of the right people.
So I know for a fact that you've got a guy next to your shop there that you do that with. Give me a little bit of an explanation about how that works. How that relationship works with you guys, how you network with him.
Yeah. So basically what we do is I get people come in, they're interested in concrete. I kind of always like to do a read on them to make sure concrete's right for them. A lot of customers, it's not. This isn't for everybody to put in their house. And so it's nice the fact that I have him next door. I can refer people to him because marble, granite, silestone, all those things are a better product for certain people. In exchange, he refers people that are interested in concrete to me. And I would say it's probably an equal balance. There's times where customers will come in and they're interested in some silestone that looks like concrete, and he'll send them next door to me. And we can show them some samples. We show them what we need, what we have, and then they go from there.
Awesome. I'm going to throw the single biggest question back to you, Joe, since you talked about like education and training. From when you got into this business, what did you find the most beneficial? Was it YouTube videos? Was it attending trainings? Was it workshops? Tell me what your thoughts are on that.
Well, like I said, when I first got into this, there was no YouTube videos, and training, came about, later on. And I found it beneficial in making contacts with people. I went to one of your training classes at Trinic and met a bunch of great guys, and just kept relationships with them, and it helped my knowledge and helped me build what I already knew up, because I got to call guys, I got to talk to guys about what they're doing, what they're using, and sharing, just sharing between the community of people, guys that were open to like discussing, oh, I do this and this is what I do and this is what I use. And, that was huge benefit, other than just sitting in your shop by yourself trying to experiment. It was nice to be able to meet people and reach out and gives you a boost. You see what they're working on and it inspires you, and you get a good relationship within like the community of guys that do this. that, you know, most of the guys you deal with are pretty open with, oh, I use this and we do this. And, you know, you got to build those contacts because it just helps you get further faster.
Sure. Awesome. One of the things that, you know, I personally have seen as we grew Trinic, which is now, 10 years ago, we started this, a little over 10 years ago, is how people, like I said, we get a lot of people that come into the industry, right, that come to our training classes and they're all fired up and they think that they're going to, you know, make millions doing concrete countertops. And they find out that, hey, this is a little bit more work than we had planned on. And a little bit more, we have to wear more hats than I planned on. Like John mentioned marketing, you mentioned training, you know, and then with any business that's out there, we always have, you know, the finances and the book work and, you know, how do you turn marketing into sales? And then there's the legal aspects of, you know, drafting contracts and making sure you're covering your tail, collections, and just, you know, everything that it takes to put together a full business. It's a lot for a small contractor, and it's a real lot for a sole proprietor that's a artisan contractor, whatever the word is you prefer. And I'm sure that people look at that in different ways, and they're both terms that are thrown around our industry, and we sort of use them interchangeably, referring to, hey, this is the guy that's actually doing this work, be it countertops or cladding or fireplace surrounds or large format tile or you name it, you know, anything. Now even the vertical concrete carving world is taking off, so that's a big one as well. But one of the things that almost seems to divide the people that come through our classes into they stick with it or they don't is really just the desire and the passion of it. So, you know, Joe, you said that you came from the movie industry. What are you passionate about for this industry? What keeps you in it?
Keeps me in it is just innovating. You know, I come from a different look on what I want my stuff to be, in a sense. I know it sounds odd. There's a lot of guys who just like to do traditional looking concrete, you know, grays and whites, and they want it to look like concrete. I come into this field in more of one of my shop years ago. I used to share a building with a marble and granite guy. So I used to get a lot of customers that would look at marble, look at granite, but they didn't want seams. So those guys would always send them over to me to see if I could replicate larger pieces where they didn't need seams and make it look like. And I got into it more like I enjoy making concrete not look like concrete. I know it sounds funny. Mm-hmm. And that's, you know, that keeps me motivated, just trying to come up with new things, new looks, you know, just the artistry in it, just making it look like what it's not is, you know, kind of what motivates me and gets me, you know, inspired to just keep pushing it, make it, you know, so it's just not traditional concrete in a sense, you know, it just, it's so versatile that you can do that. You can, you know, there's different avenues to go with the medium. And I just kind of go down that artistry medium where I want it to be something that, you know, stands out and it's not what it is, you know.
You touched on something there that, you know, can be a point of some contention, or at least people that like to voice their opinion of people that want, there's a section of people that say, hey, we just want traditional concrete. We want it to look like concrete. If you want something to look like stone, go buy stone. So there's a couple of little schools of thought in that, but quite honestly, it's tough to do just one thing and be profitable in this industry. And it's so versatile. I think that's one of the things that just turns me on to the decorative concrete world is no matter how you want to express your artistic ability or lack thereof, in my case, there's things in concrete that can make those, those assets that you hold shine. Like, you are awesome at faux finishing and coming up with cool designs. And I love having you come to our classes. because it's just such a draw, whether people have any artistic ability or not. They love to see what you've done and how you do it and the techniques, and to learn that, hey, I can learn this. It's not that hard.
No.
It's, you know, it's not that easy, but you need to learn it. It's just like anything else, right? We all learn to talk and we don't remember doing that. So it couldn't have been all that hard, right? But we learned what we're good at, and you get to kind of shine in what you're good at. So like you, Joe, you're, like I said, you're fantastic at faux finishing, and you do a great job working on your own, and you know, working in a studio that's, you know, that you've set up like you like to work. And John, on the other hand, John, tell me, you know, like some of the things that you have, how do I want to put this? Tell me about some of or your journey, I guess, from making that concrete countertop at your house to doing the cladding and things that you do now, how you've grown from, you know, startup all the way through to where you're at now. Just the kind of highlights on what that journey looks like.
All right. Yeah. So I started with my own countertop in my house. Went okay, you know. Took some training classes. Started, you know, doing a little bit more work. Again, word of mouth. It was just word of mouth in the beginning. You know, this person to this person to this person. Then started to get a little bit busier and networking by, you know, utilizing the infrastructure that I had without utilizing necessarily social media or paper advertisement and that kind of stuff. And I had a person contact me that wanted some fire bowls that were also going to be fountains. And it was a pretty large project. I was super excited about it. And I had to just kind of figure out, okay, I have this opportunity. I don't really have the knowledge of how it's done, what I need to do it. And I kind of was talking to a couple of guys that I know, and they said, hey, we know this guy that has a CNC machine, and he's got, you know, this is kind of what he does, but not really. Why don't you go sit down and talk to him? So I went in and I met him, and he manufactures a concrete product that's, I guess it would be considered decorative concrete. And we got to talking, and he said to me, hey, I have an opportunity to do some exterior GFRC. Do you have, you know, I know you do GFRC. Can you do cladding work? And I said, I don't see why not. I said, it's just a big countertop or sink or what, you know, if you just approach it from that angle, it's all the same. And then that's kind of one thing led to another, and that's where I am now.
That's awesome. Guys, I want to thank you so much for being on the show today. How can people get a hold of you if they need some help, or if they want to you know, pick your brain for some of the things that you guys do?
I'm on Instagram and Facebook, the Concrete Dog Studio, and my phone number's on both of those, so anybody could always give me a call, you know, anytime.
Awesome. John?
You could reach me at Bluebird Concrete on Instagram, and my number's available on there as well.
That's awesome. So both you guys mentioned networking, and I'd encourage our audience to drop some comments below. We all, you know, have other things going on other than this show, but we really want to hear from you. We want to hear the topics that you want us to talk about, the things that you need to get off your chest, what you want to discuss, you know, what some of your wins are. Heck, tell us about some of the things that you've learned. That's one of the greatest things I love about doing training classes is, as we're showing everyone how we kind of have figured out how to do things, someone always brings up an idea that's just stellar, and we'll incorporate all of that. So thanks for watching. But like I said, put all your comments below, and we'll talk to y'all later. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.